there one that says something appropriate? Carpe diem. I think it says, doesn't it?
That's cartridge. That's it.
Well,
Joe, that never wanted to be here when I went.
well, when I came here, this part wasn't.
President's house.
This house used to be here. I should go take my pay attention to it. I can see that it changing the plates. Yeah, I know I did. You good got a lot of everybody to see the head.
This is what the students write when you go to college. This
I love this. They got hot juice off that beaker.
this brings back memories.
That's what you guys think.
Lord have mercy, I had memories.
Yeah. Pornography.
I think it's time for somebody to start it up with salt.
Just burn now.
Good afternoon. My name is Craig Clifford. I'm chair of the Department of Biological Sciences here at Northeastern, and I'd like to introduce our dean of the College of Natural Science and Math and Nursing or whatever. It keeps getting rearranged. To give you an official welcome on this auspicious occasion of Joe Anderson Day. Doug Harrington.
About 30 seconds ago.
It was longer than 30 seconds.
This is the best looking group I've seen in this class. We want to welcome you here today at a very special occasion for honoree. One of a kind. For those coming in, when you hear people say he has so many friends, and as you look around the room, you can really see that. We really appreciate Joe, and we appreciate your taking the time to come here today. Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you.
I want to introduce also, I guess, the person who got this started, a former student here and perpetrator of this event, Greg Tomlin. If you want to come up and say a word or two as we get started.
You count on now. He said a word or two.
A word or two? Well, I was one of Doc Anderson's students, and I think he was one of the best professors we've ever had at Northeastern. And we also have a plaque to present to him.
I paid him for this.
Would you like to take that?
Since you were involved.
Well, this was signed by the mayor, Bob Robertson, and would you like me to read it?
Yes.
Okay, it says,
You know,
whereas,
he's a neighbor of mine. He's afraid to throw trash on me.
it says, whereas the city of Tahlequah and the citizens of Cherokee County, Oklahoma, wish to take this opportunity to recognize and honor one of our most distinguished and loved citizens, Dr. Joe M. Anderson, and whereas Dr. Anderson retired as professor of botany at the Northeastern State University, where he always took a special interest in all of his present and former students, and is an active member of St. Bridget Catholic Church, also a member of several community service organizations, such as Kiwanis and Knights of Columbus, to mention a few. And whereas Joe is a veteran who was wounded during World War II in Europe and is a doctor of philosophy who has conquered many obstacles throughout his life, keeping him going and achieving such greatness. And whereas Joe Anderson has a lovely wife, Marie, who teaches piano, 3 sons. Joe, who is a registered nurse, Jim, an attorney, and John, a talented musician, whom he has instilled his fine qualities in, and now therefore I, Bob Robertson, Mayor of Tahlequah, Oklahoma, hereby proclaim and declare that Friday, November 15th, 1996 be Dr. Joe Anderson Day in Tahlequah, Oklahoma.
All right.
About Doc is he always taught that Tahlequah is an ecotone, which is a place of ecological convergence. where grasses meet woodlands and hills meet plains. Yet it's far more. Tahlequah is a cultural ecotone as well. It is a place where variety is not just tolerated, it is cherished. In this great community, the unique mingle with the common. Dr. Anderson is definitely unique. He is a wonderful man and a compliment to our human ecology. Thank you.
When something gets started, like Greg suggested it, that we do something like this, you don't know what kind of crowd you're going to have, and we kept worrying about if we had enough food. I think we compensated enough, so when we get to that, be sure you help yourself to that. But I think just this crowd here is ample evidence of the impact Joe has had on this community and the friends and acquaintances he's made. So I appreciate you all being here. We have a plaque.
We have a reason for having this in the science building.
Right. And this is Monica Macklin. She was my fellow conspirator in what we did on this end of the deal. So I want to thank Monica for all of her work. Monica kind of occupies the herbarium where a lot of Joe's activity has taken place over the years. Monica?
Well, Joe came by the other day and he was talking about this, and he told me that when the priest announced this in church, what he said was he thought he really ought to at least get a t-shirt out of Joe Anderson. So, we have a t-shirt.
Well, just proof, he said there wasn't one.
I wanted to put on there, I went to Joe Anderson Day and all I got was this crummy t-shirt. Monica wouldn't do it. We have a plaque here that says, Joe M. Anderson Herbarium. This herbarium was dedicated to Joe M. Anderson on this, the 15th day of November 1996, in recognition of the founding and development of this teaching resource, Department of Biology, Tahlequah, Oklahoma. So as you as we finish up here, or as you enjoy your refreshments, be sure to go down and see the new sign outside the herbarium that says Joe M. Anderson Herbarium.
Used to just be one that said no smoking. Excuse me, I didn't mean to impinge on your day that bad. Here it is, Friday afternoon, classes and labs are over. You ought to be out relaxing with something, and here you are, putting on a good face up to it, and I appreciate it. Y'all been good friends, and I never meant to be a teacher. And many of you think I never was. I did enjoy doing about botany with the people in the classes, and that made it up for everything else. Colleagues have been nice. I have 2 or 3 things to be proud of. I was on the committee that searched for this dean here, who's so nice, and something in my favor. And I did dig through 4 big crates of applications and located every Grigsby's application for the job here. I think that was something I did from Northeastern. So but I'm especially glad that we got such a room full of botanists here, Paul, which is a long time and very good friend, and a very smart botanist too. Donna and Monica, and 2 or 3 botanists, you know, equals any 10 or 20 of people. But I appreciate that awful kid's efforts. I know you're going to be that much troublemaker. You should see the grades he would have got instead of what he did. I won't need to raise his grade. I'm thinking about going back and cutting him to F.
We've got some cards and letters that Joe can look at later on. We asked people if they couldn't be here today to send cards and notes, and there may be cards and notes from some people who are here. We have one from Al Williams, Vice President for Academic Affairs, who's out of town today. November 15th, 1996 has been proclaimed Dr. Joe Anderson Day, and in honor of this proclamation, I would like to congratulate you. Your service and commitment to Northeastern State University are commendable. Students were always eager to enroll in your classes. They knew they would learn and profit from being able to spend the time in your classroom. You were called upon to develop and teach new courses because you were always able to do an admirable job. Your tenure at NSU was at a time when programs were being developed and offered for the first time. You have made a great contribution to the university that few people have been able to equal. May this day be one of memorable pleasure to you in the years to come. Please accept my sincere congratulations and best wishes to you, and whatever you do, you're the best. Sincerely, Al Williams.
That's nice. He's like Mike Bowden. He was a good kid when I moved here. I know who that is. You can't read it, so I know who it is.
I don't know if I should read all of this, but this is from George Goodman, Dr. Anderson's major professor.
My teacher.
I am so glad for this honor. It says, Dear Joe, I'm so glad for this honor that has come to you. I can't think of a better name for an herbarium. Congratulations. I can easily imagine the inspiration and happiness that you have instilled in your numerous students through these many years. Thinking of you brings back many happy memories to me. We were discussing fruits in lecture class and outlining why a cherry, for example, was not a one-seeded berry, but rather a drupe. I pointed out the developmental differences and mentioned that a date is a drupe, and Joe Anderson, looking neither left nor right, but in a clear voice said, my date was no drupe. Other such incidences occurred frequently. For example, a group of students who had been studying with me at the University of Wyoming summer camp decided to head west to see this western state. At noon, we stopped in Rawlins for lunch. We were seated on some benches while waiting for a table. A little distance in front of us was a counter with always attractive cashier behind it. Behind her was a beautiful photograph of the Grand Tetons. I enthusiastically said, aren't those Grand Tetons wonderful? Joe Anderson, always ready with an unforgettable remark, soberly said, I thought she was rather flat-chested myself. Everyone loved it. We had such fun. Congratulations again to you on this special day from both Marcia and me. Most sincerely, George J. Goodman. I knew I could read that because Joe's the kind of guy who can dish it out, but he can also take it.
Have to that. I've tried to keep it a secret that he was my teacher because I'm such a sorry excuse for his.
We have that basket over there is contains a few gift items from Tri Beta Biological Honor Society. Joe was involved with that. Was one of the founding members, I believe, here of the Psi Alpha chapter. Is that right? Along with Everett, I guess.
Where'd Everett go?
He's up there.
He's there.
So,
I'm girl.
yeah. So we want to acknowledge that. And did I miss any of the items, Monica? Did you?
Sure.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So does anyone else would anyone else like to say anything before we get to the food?
You better eat.
So congratulations against Joe, and as the room keeps filling up and more people keep showing, and I think that's testimony to your presence in Tahlequah. And I want to comment too that Joe always told me that when he heard a physiologist was moving in next door to him, he wasn't so sure about that. But I'm glad I did.
Last time they got together to say things at me, I was retiring, And I said to him, now it's legal. Now, I'm not retiring in one sense anymore, but I'm sure not doing anything worthwhile. I hope you'll all enjoy the party. Thanks enough for me.
So come forward, please, and say hello to Joe. We've got a guest book here. Please make sure you sign up and so Joe will know everybody who's here. And come and help yourself.
Oh, one thing I would like to tell you about Greg, he never was a troublemaker in any class or lab I had. He came in quietly with thorough notes, made high scores on his tests, and lived quietly. I don't know why he changed so.
Hello, Joe. How are you doing?
Luke gave up.
That's nice.
You doing all right? Kids got all right. You know how old I am.
Talking about some young whippersnappers that are about to retire.
Way around. I owe you for taking that damn office.
Well, you deserve it.
Well, I told you we can pretend I did. Thank you for him. Look here. I don't skip over there.
Well, it helps me that way.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
After you leave.
I don't know how. Out of a beaker?
There you are.